Are you behind on your credit card bills? Good, pick up the phone and start dialing. Is your landlord ready to evict you? Good, pick up the phone and start dialing. Does your girlfriend think you're a fucking worthless loser? Good, pick up the phone and start dialing. I want you to deal with your problems by becoming rich.
I just like the sound of it.
Alright, here we go. What do people usually say when they start these things off, Kanan? Greetings, welcome. To each their own slash not so random thoughts podcast. That's to be decided on. But yeah, I hope this is the first of many streams of consciousness. Just a way for me to vent, a form of therapy, a release, certain things I can't speak to certain people about. So let me speak to strangers. Yeah, I got a few topics that I want to get into. I might go by order, I might jump in between, but first and foremost, I go by the name uSive. Creative. I'm a creative. I'm an artist. I'm a thinker, son, a grandson, a brother, um, a cousin, all that jazz, and kwaito. But yeah, uSive Kha, if people want to know what that means, it's just my name. And usually with my name, there's usually another part to it. My name is like a prefix of sorts. So kukho sive sonke, or sive nathi, or sive nkosi, yabo. But me on my ID is just uSive. That's why my name is uSive Kha, which means just or only. Yabo, Kha stolikwa ke kakuhle. So yeah, moving on to the topics. I got about 7 topics I want to get into. I don't want this to go over an hour, maybe 11, maybe an hour 12 minutes. We'll see. Um, it's raining outside, I tried doing this on my laptop and stuff, but no luck. Don't have my own room, so I don't really have no privacy to just start spilling my thoughts in the living room. So I'm currently in my mom's car. Um, Not ashamed to say that, I still live with my mom's, grandmoms, 2 little sisters. Yeah, 26 years old, and I do not give a fuck, because I love those people, and rent is a motherfucker nowadays. So yeah, it's part of my story, but we'll get to that. Maybe on another podcast or whatever, on another episode, I'll break down my background and where I'm from. But just to give you, a quick summary, I am from the Eastern Cape, from a small location called Esbeleni. Esbeleni used to be called Queensdale. It's an area in the outskirts of Queenstown where people were moved out of town to go live there, so the white people can the Afrikaans people can stay in town where work and amenities are. So it used to be like a farm area, and then boom, people were located there, moved forcefully under apartheid. which falls, Esbeleni falls under the Transkei, yeah, Transkei Bantustan. Okay, for your historians out there. So when back it was Transkei, I think it was formally recognized in 1974 or something, but in 1960 was when people first settled there. So my grandma moved there, and everything else is history. I was born and raised 94 until now. It's funny how I'm as old as our democracy, but you can't tell, right? But yeah, moved to Cape Town 2013 real quick. Moved here because my mom's here, been visiting here since 2005, you know, those school holidays. Then I moved officially, studied for about 4 to 5 years at UWC, UWs at Bush. And then, yeah, I've been working on and off ever since, trying to figure out my life and my existence. And now here I am talking to myself in the back of a car. Yeah, yeah, that's life, ne? All right, so I'll just rack off the topics, and then I'll go into the first one that I just want to, you know, talk about. So first, it's gender-based violence. I want to touch upon that. CV19. You already know what that is about. uh, Racism. Third topic. Fourth topic is economy. I'd like to touch on that a bit. Technology, something I'm also interested in. Humanity, very important part. And then my favorite, music. So yeah, for this first episode, I'm not gonna go too deep into research and whatnot. Um, I'm not sure I'm still learning how to edit videos and whatnot, so I'm not sure how I'm going to present it visually. Um, but yeah, I don't want to go too deep yet into the research part of it, but I will be doing a lot of that going forward. You know, I don't want to just spill, nonsense, just say things that are unfounded, but at the same time, I don't want to restrict myself to research, because at the end of the day, I don't know, I don't I ask, like, but you probably don't, because we don't know nothing on this earth, and if you're thinking, damn, it's one of those podcasts, the woke podcast or the conscious podcast or whatever, I don't care what you think, honestly. I'm not gonna say subscribe or like or comment or share. I hope you do, but I'm not gonna say you should. Do what you want. If you think it's worth sharing or liking or commenting or subscribing to, then by all means. But that's not what this is about. This is also part therapy for me. I gotta get these thoughts off. Otherwise, I'm gonna explode. With all that's going on, like, yes, being locked inside and all this nonsense. Nah, nah, fam. um I just want to vent, so yeah, I don't know nothing, so I'm not gonna let research dictate what I say, because I could look something up on the internet and it could look 100% legit from a website with ads and all that, and pop up comes up, it's fake. You dig? So I'm not going to focus too much on that, but I'm going to try and find certain facts and link them into what I'm speaking about. So first topic, gender based violence. Yeah, this is a very, very deep one. It's important. And I want to start off very clearly. It's not right, okay? It is not okay to abuse women, especially, but it's not okay to abuse anyone. but especially women, especially African women, um, women of the dark ethnicity. Um, I'm talking about dark melanin queens. It's wrong. Stop it, okay? And it will never be right. And when I say it's not right, I'm not talking about the gray areas. Okay, I'm talking about dudes, men, certain people abusing women just because they are a woman. Okay, because you view them as lesser than human, subhuman, weaker because they're not physical as us. And that's not across the board. There's certain women who are more physical than certain men. It's no generalization of any sorts. It's quite simple. Women have a certain role in the society, and men do. It comes together like a lock and key. We need each other. If it was only men in this world, we would all die. You feel me? It would be extinction of the human race. If there were only females in this world, same thing. The extinction of the human race. So I'm very clear on that. Stop doing that shit. It's not right. Okay, so what do I want to get into specifically when we talk about gender-based violence? Okay, um, if you go to Stats SA, um, you'll find different like kind of statistics on everything from your economy to gender to to crime and things of the like. So I don't want to go too deep into it, but if you look at some of these numbers, okay, I know reading is not something people like to do nowadays, and I don't read too much myself. I won't lie, I'm not an avid reader. I used to be, but I read so much that I figured out like, yo, this is a person writing these things, and I have my own thoughts about things, but it's a good foundation to build your own thoughts off, you know. So when you look at these things, they are also like presentations that break it down in a more simple way, more simple terms, make you understand it a bit better. So you can go on to Stats SA, you can just go based violence statistics, South Africa 2020. Literally, that's the keywords you can use, and you can find the numbers as to how much of it do we experience. Now, I'm trying to figure out, should I speak on certain articles? Because I don't trust media, to be honest with you. Um, I don't. I just don't trust the media on things. Um, but sometimes they do speak the truth. But usually they try and twist it in some shape or form. But yeah, let's give them the benefit of the doubt. I'll start with the Daily Maverick. There's an article on here. Let me see. I won't say who it's written by. You can go visit the article, but basically it's talking about femicide and the genocide basically of women in South Africa. I thought it would be giving me some numbers, but it's not. So I'm not gonna dwell on that. But basically, I wanted to give you a picture um, of what we're dealing with. But here is another Daily Maverick article. Okay, so this one says, posted on, I believe, 11 June 2020. The title of this is South Africa's 24-hour trends report. That's on the dailymaverick.co.za. So if you want to read further, you can go to that. So it first says this is a summary of the trending, highest impact, and most active themes and their narratives related to social cohesion and division in South African public domain social media conversations on 11 June 2020. Global trends affecting South Africa are also featured. Okay, so I guess it's coming from the perspective of how when it says cohesion, that's togetherness. How together, when it says obviously division is being divided. So it's gauging how together or divided we are, especially on social media. So this kind of touches upon my other topic, which is technology, okay, and social media. So let me see here. Let's just read the first few paragraphs. So it says here, um, victims of violence. VOV. The primary theme in social media over the past 24 hours was linked to calls to action over gender based violence as victims of the violence speak up boldly. Okay. While 56% of all Twitter posts on this topic were made by men, interesting, posts by women drove the high volume through narratives about valuing the lives of black women in South Africa and criticism of men and police for their lack of support. That's important. Okay, let's dive to that. So first, it's saying more men were talking about this on Twitter than women were, but um, the concentration of the topic was really more upon the women, which means women were driving the conversation. They were the ones who started it up and drove it. And I believe because men are somewhat more on social media sometimes in certain settings than women, that could be the case. For instance, YouTube. I know on YouTube it's more men than there is women, and on platforms like Tumblr, it's maybe even Instagram, it's more women than men. You dig? So basically, here the women shouldn't even have to be saying things like this, yo. Yeah, like lives of black women should be valued in South Africa, and of course they should. And we are lacking in the support of our women as men, as police, as protectors. You feel me? We are failing. I'm failing. I've been wrong in a lot of cases. Luckily, when I say I've been wrong, I only mean I haven't done as much as I wanted, I guess. You know, um, growing up. Okay, let me start like there. Like growing up, these things are normalized to us. Okay, a certain type of people will know that certain things are wrong, right? And like I believe strongly that um at the essence of people, at our core, we are all made of love. You know, um, what do I mean of? I mean like we are all made purely from love. We have hate in us. That's usually more something that comes from the environment, right? But initially, we all start from love, right? And then someone might argue that, what about a child that was conceived through rape? Were they made from love? No, they, 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 they weren't in that example. But fundamentally, for them to exist in whichever way whether negative or positive. I view it as life. So life is God, and that's God's grace. That's creation. You feel me? Because I've met people who are the products of rape, and I'm happy that their parents, they parent, their mother did not decide to like abort them. You feel me? And if they did, that's their choice. So when we look at situations like this, it starts from infancy, going up, from being a little kid. You're absorbing things, especially from the ages of like 0 to 6, maybe 7 years old. You're a sponge. You're just absorbing everything subconsciously. Some things you don't know being downloaded in your mind, because the mind is the biggest and best computer. Every piece of technology um, mimics or copies the the body, the human body and brain and mind and spirit and all those things that I don't even know exist to be real. These are just words that we use to describe things. But I'm saying, like, in those years, you're absorbing and taking in things that you don't even know you are. And then the next 7 years of your life, 6, 7 years into now adolescence, into your teenage years, you're figuring out who you are. So I know for a fact, I can only speak really on myself. I grew up watching things, seeing things like abuse of women in a way that is confusing, because you can tell that she didn't like that certain treatment, that hand gesture, that touch, that feel, that push, that nudge, that comment. You feel me? She didn't like it. She wasn't comfortable with it, but she's so used to it also, and prone, and like, she's there. She's not leaving. You dig? And even if she did, people would still view you a certain way, especially growing up in a location. Ekasi, yabo elokishini abantu bakujonga ngelinye ihlobo, Joe, like bazakuphatha eli hlobo uziphatha ngalo now. So basically, I'm saying, if you don't have respect for yourself, you won't be respected. And I'm not speaking about women right now. I'm speaking about human beings. So we grow up. I grew up from 94 to 2000. I'm like 6 years old, right? From 2000 to like 2007, I'm 13, 14 years old. Uh, Back then, my generation saw the transition. We experienced the change from analog to digital, in a way. We saw the first computers, how big they were and heavy, and the towers, and the first laptops and all that. The first cell phones, flip phones, sliding phones, touch screens. We experienced that. I grew up in, imagine those years from 2000 to 2010. You dig? It was a different time. And certain things like certain social media platforms did not even exist back then. You know? So certain things didn't have light on them. So, for instance, this whole article is talking about um, how men and women are talking about the gender-based violence on social media, and they reference Twitter. So think about that. Like, before, these things are not new in my mind. I've seen these cases. I've seen cases of suspected rape and whatnot. Um, and in the hood, like, ikasi, there's a lot of mob justice. Um, we don't tolerate a lot of shit. If shit happens, you pop off, you do something wrong, especially like raping a woman, you get messed up, you get fucked up. They beat you. I say they, I plead the fifth, but you get fucked up. You feel me? And morally, it's a double-edged sword, right? Because you say someone must have a fair trial. They need to go through the justice system. But really, I've seen people being accused of raping children and be out the next day or the day after that on bail or something, or a technicality or something. How? I've seen people stab people, murders, and someone is out the next day. So our system, our justice system, it's faulty. It's not right. Because in my thoughts, it's like, first and foremost, why are we still using Roman Dutch law? It says it in the name, Roman Dutch. Rome, Dutch, the Netherlands, the people who colonized this place. You feel me? It's like, yo, why are we still using such laws? You feel me? People tell me about the Constitution, yeah, this and that. Yo, times have changed. That's why there's things like addendums and amendments. These are not things to be used to trick people and change their contracts while working and exploit people. These are things you can use to actually make change in your legislation and your policies. Amend the constitution for certain things. You feel me? Enforce certain things. Because we all have a right to life. Why is it that women are getting abused, raped, beaten, sexually harassed and assaulted, verbally, mentally, on social media, spiritually? Why are women discriminated against in commerce? You feel me? Like, when women buy things, just because it's pink, it might cost more. You dig? Like, just because it's for a woman, it might cost more. Literally, there's been studies and examples of this shown that the same product from the same brand can cost more for a woman than a man. Why? I understand there's a psychology to it. Women are the driving force of our market. They buy more. You feel me? They are the consumers more. You dig? But like, that's not absolute. That's not something that's fixed. So I'm saying, like, these are the things we need to change, the fundamentals. So back to me growing up in Isbeleni, like witnessing certain cases of this type of abuse and having ill-treated women also myself. Okay, I'll be honest. I'm never someone to really force myself on anyone. Um, because I never felt the need to. But I would do certain things that they weren't cool. And I would get away with them because I'm me. Because I honestly think those girls, those women, knew that I was really not about that. I'm not an evil or wicked person by nature. But in hindsight, like, if they said no, would have I listened? You feel me? With the indoctrination, the learning and the programming that I had from growing up witnessing uncles and older guys and older men treating women a certain way, with a certain level of disrespect in their tone, and even how we speak about women when they're not around. Even those conversations, bro. A lot of things are true, you know. Stereotypes come from somewhere, but if you really think about it, like if you look at things like scriptures or the Bible, it says it all started with the word. I feel like that's to emphasize the power of our vibrations. This is energy vibrating at different frequencies, my vocal cords vibrating and making the sound that manifests into words. That's a special thing. It cannot be created nor destroyed. You feel me? So I feel like it's very important to start there. Start with how we speak about women, how we speak to women, how we treat our women and deal with it. Okay? Like, you gotta deal with the fact that a lot of men are broken. We are broken. We are because we are messed up because of so many things. The same as women, but like, there's a neglect to the men for a reason. You feel me? You want to break down a family, you take away the male figure first. You dig? Because the Holy Trinity, how I view it, is not the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. The Holy Trinity to me is the mother, the father, the son, or daughter. You dig? So it's important to have that. I never had that growing up. A lot of us don't have those father figures because of the type of relationships that are had. Um, a lot of my friends are like me. Their parents had them young. You feel me? And they was. I grew up with my mom. She was still figuring out her own life and who she wants to be, and she had me on the side. That's why my grandmother raised me. You feel me? That's my connection to the west and the east. East through my mom, her father, my grandpops, and uh, her mom, my grandmom. So that's the roots of all of us. But she moved and went to go find a different life, a different existence, a better one, really, to be honest. She left the Eastern Cape looking for greener pastures because um, as we can see now with CV-19, what's going on. Eastern Cape, no hospitals, not enough, and not enough staff in the hospitals, not enough infrastructure, equipment. You dig PPE, protective personal equipment. There's not enough facilities, not enough places to do things in the Eastern Cape. Schools, healthcare, legal, education, higher education, things like these are lacking. So she moved this side because of such things. So that's my connection to both sides. But back to the topic at hand, when I look at that, I'm looking at it's not right. First and foremost, it's not normal. We normalize a lot of things that should not be normal, yo. It's not normal. People out here cutting people into pieces. You feel me? I always wonder where these movies come from. Are movies just movies? Or are they documentaries? Or are they prophecies? Or are they showing us things to come? Or are they showing us the past? What's happening there? Because you read the news nowadays, you wonder, like, is this for real? Like, is this happening? Like, I literally do not know right now what's real or not on social media. They can kill someone on social media. I remember a time, I'm going off topic a little bit, but fuck it. Like, I remember a time Jackie Chan was killed on social media. I thought Jackie Chan was dead. Then I find out, nah, that was fake. And told her, like, what are these things? Are messed up and they should not be happening. So you'll find on social media, I feel like we social media is good and bad in a lot of ways. Right now it's more bad than good because, like this article is talking about, there's a certain divide between women. You feel me? Women and men. You look at the brutal killing of I do not want to butcher her name, rest in peace, Miss Pule. I think it's Tseho Fatso Pule, okay, who's brutally murdered. Like, and it was a premeditated type of thing. I don't want to go into the details of the thing, but like when you think about it, it's dark, and it speaks to the part of us as human beings that's very negative, that's evil, that's cruel, that's wicked, that's cunning in a very bad way. So now we finding details in this case and whatnot, but the murder is doubly wrong. This woman was 28 years old, if that's accurate. 8 month, damn, 8 months pregnant, bro. Yes, God. Ah, that's messed up, yo. That is just not right. It's not right, and it's not going to be right ever. Now, here's what we need to deal with. I might say things here that a lot of people might not like, um, might feel a certain type of way about, and to say I don't care does not explain it enough. I don't care about certain things. I care a lot about other things. You feel me? And right now, I care more about getting the certain point across than sounding politically correct, than not offending someone or triggering someone or not, um, you know, what's another word for outraging people? You dig? I don't care about that right now. This is what I want to say. Doing wrong to women is something that can stop. It's possible. Maybe not completely, but we can reduce it substantially, like by a lot. You feel me? Why? Because I would break down the percentage of men abusing women to there's a certain percent of men that are traumatized themselves. Hurt people, hurt people. So there's a certain portion of men that really are good people, but they've also been abused in their lifetime. So they are projecting those emotions onto others, be it the closest woman or child. You feel me? So I feel like that's the only portion that should exist right now. The people who also need help and can possibly be helped. Now, there's another bracket within that is also abused, but like there's no going back, Shem. Unfortunately, those people cannot be helped. It's in their nature, it's embedded in them to be abusive to other people, especially women. So, for those ones, I'm sorry. I am sorry. I am not God and cannot really judge no one. But one thing I know is that we have rights and responsibilities. Your rights cannot infringe on other people's rights. So that is your responsibility to make sure that your right to anything does not infringe on any other person's right. And that goes for you too. So then we have another portion now. The other portion is these people who also have been programmed. For many years, they've seen this treatment of women. Um, and some of them grow up uh, seeing domestic violence, rape, abuse. Some of them maybe have experienced it themselves. For those people, they need help. It's like crime with how our jails are overcrowded with people who have drug offenses. Drug offenses. Put them in rehab. That's what they need. They need rehabilitation. They need to be helped to see that they have a substance abuse problem. You feel me? That's clear. Now, what we're not getting is that. Exactly that. We're not getting it in our justice system. Okay, that's a topic for another day. But these people also need help in terms of therapy. But they also need to be reprimanded for their actions. But it has to be in proportion, though. You feel me? Once you take a life, you've broken, I think, the most deepest of natural laws. You've broken it, unfortunately. You feel me? That's one thing that there's no coming back from. There's no healing really from for that. You can't bring back someone who's died. You dig? So that one, you need to deal with the consequences of those actions. For those who hit women, also vulgar, also disgusting, wrong. Because as much as the physical is abusive in itself, but the mental of that, watching those bruises heal for a woman, remembering that someone I respect or love or care for hurt me like that. It hurts much more than someone randomly hitting you on the streets or whatever, you know? So for most of these cases with gender-based violence, a lot of them come from within the family or a certain circle of people who know each other, right? Now, for the cases that are not that, the opportunistic ones, the people who are in this sex traffic game, this human trafficking game, I'm not going to mince no words with that. You deserve exactly what you are doing. Okay? To be fair, what you are doing to other people, if you are a sex trafficker, a child trafficker, a human trafficker, uh, if you own or involved in sex slavery, pedophilia, abuse of men, women, or children in any way, you deserve the same suffering. Maybe times two. You feel me? So you need, damn, for those people, I'm disgusted by those people. Fuck those people. Fuck them. Fuck all of them. You feel me? Once again, I am not God. I'm not here to judge, but I am here to judge. You feel me? That's just life. Life is a whole contradiction. It's a paradox. It's irony. You know, up is down, left is right, good is bad, and vice versa. That's life. So I was breaking it down. So those are the people who have been hurt themselves, who hurt others. They need help. Then there's the people who are capitalizing on a monetary level. They need to be reprimanded, to put it nicely. They need to be disciplined. They need consequences, bad consequences for the bad things that they're doing. Then there's the opportunistic element of it. The people who, and this is a tough discussion that a lot of dudes don't want to have, but let's have it. Like, I was never for the party scene, and I remember 2014 in varsity was probably the year I started like experimenting in a way, with such experimenting with alcohol and things like this, partying, going out, all that. Now, there's a certain culture there where you see a certain vulturism, a hyena-like mentality. When you see a drunk girl, a drunk woman, you see the men start like it's like she's prey, yo. Like they waiting. Everyone wants to pounce. Everyone wants to take her home or whatnot. I want to take her to a room. You feel me? That whole culture of taking women that are inebriated, uh, big word, right? Women that are drunk, taking women that are not in their right minds and having sex with them is borderline rape, gents. It's not right. I never liked doing any of that type of shit, especially like on meeting someone on the first time and whatnot. I know things can happen, and when you're drunk, you lose a lot of your reasoning too. But I don't care how drunk I am. That is not happening. I'm not doing that to someone who's like lifeless or something, or like not even there 100%. What is that? You feel me? That's that awkward walk home. And this is for both women and men. The women need to take responsibility for themselves and how much they drink and how much they expose themselves, you feel me, around certain people. And friends also. I've seen friends sell out other friends, female friends sell out their friend for booze or alcohol or look or whatever. She's too drunk. Tipsy, I understand. You know, a little fucked up, a little lit, okay. But when she's fucked up, like I'm talking fucked up, wasted, she's messed up, doesn't even know her name. What are you doing, bro? No, bro. Nah, Kawucha, exactly what are you doing? How do you feel good with yourself as a man, taking that woman who can hardly stand, talk, might not even remember what happened in the morning? How are you going to take that person and have sexual intercourse with them? It's not right. It will never be right. Okay? So, these are the things we need to tackle. Women, you have to take responsibility. As much as we have to teach the young boys how to treat women right through examples and really just talking directly, saying that is not right. You don't touch her in her private places. You don't speak to her using words like bitch and hoe and all these things. You feel me? At a certain age. So women, girl childs need to learn this too. We need to teach them together. We need to unite because there's a lot of division in the world right now. You feel me? Too much division in the world right now. It's men versus women. It's black versus white. You know, it's left, right, blue, red. You feel me? These things don't fucking really matter. We are all one. We're all one thing. You cut me, I bleed. I go to the toilet. We all shit. We all piss. We all eat. We breathe. Everybody does the same things. We need the same fundamentals to survive on this planet. All this other bullshit is shit that we created and made, and really and truly sidlala izindlu, and we are fucking up the whole planet doing so. Now, when I say women need to take responsibility, I mean women need to start choosing the men that they deal with, that they have relationships with, in a better way. You feel me? I am not a woman. I cannot speak about being a woman. I don't know how it is. I feel for you, ladies, and that's why I'm saying this. You need to start really, really looking into the people you allow into your space, the energies you allow around you. Because truly, like, as much as there's a lot of messed up men in this world, there's a lot of messed up women too. There's women who abuse men. That's not the focus of this discussion, but I'm saying that happens too. There's women who abuse children. These things happen. Now, if we focus on one, because it's on the news, Yantol, it's on social media, then we find ourselves neglecting the other, same as the CV-19 situation. This nonsense has all these um, um, hospitals and clinics focusing on this one thing, forgetting that people were sick and dying long before this thing happened. And they continue to throughout. They call them comorbidities on TV nowadays. I remember studying these things in psychology, like, it's not a game. There are people who were sick before all of this nonsense. So they need to not be neglected also. Now, it's not easy dividing yourself amongst things. I understand, but if anybody can do it, if anyone can multitask, it's women. I know this for a fact. Now, I'm putting my trust in them. It starts with us, gents. We need to start changing our own behavior and actions, and starts with the words and the things that we use. Like, for instance, the music. I think I'm using this topic to really tie into the rest of my topics, because I've touched pretty much on CV19, um, technology, social media, and whatnot, humanity, how we treat each other. Now, think about the economy and music. Okay, when we think about hip hop, for instance, hip hop is very derogatory. It's misogynistic. It speaks about women in a negative way that I do not like. Sometimes it sounds amazing. It's a banger. Some of your favorite artists speak the most vulgar and say the most negative things about women, but it sounds good over a beat. Now, it, this is the real dilemma that we're dealing with as a human race. I have certain lyrics that I wrote, and I noticed maybe 3 or 4 songs. I like the phrase "no pleasure, no pain." The duality of that. I'm saying, if there's no pleasure, there will be no pain, right? Because you need the other to know that the first one exists, right? So now, as human beings, we have this music that we like. It sounds dope. It's amazing. It comes from your favorite artist. Uh, who is it? Whoever. You can name it. Your Drakes of the world, your Travis Scotts, your Young Thugs, your whoever's. Um, my favorites are J. Cole, Kendrick Lamar's of the world. You feel me? But there's certain words, lyrics, and really I'm speaking to the people who make their whole careers on such music. Derogatory music, music that uses bitch, hoe, slut, this, that, fuck, kill, uh, kill your own kind. I don't know, if you were to search these songs and look for the phrase kill a nigga or kill, you know, that nigga, whatever. Like, if you look for terms like this, that bitch is a hoe, all that shit, you will find thousands of these, sometimes hundreds in the same song. Like, it's just that on repetition over whatever beat is trending. You feel me? From trap beats to UK drill to whatever. It's fucked up. When you really I don't listen to music like I used to. I probably stopped really listening to music religiously 2012, 2013, I'd say 2014 probably. I really stopped listening to the music to the point where I know all the lyrics. I used to do that a lot. Then I realized, growing up listening to Abo Little Wayne, your 50 Cents of the world, your Slim Thugs, these are the people we grew up listening to. When you listen to a lot of that shit, it's messed up. It's polluting your mind. Even your Jay-Z's of the world, all these gents. One person, even Biggie, Shem, I love Biggie and his flow, but a lot of the shit he said was fucked up. Same with um Tupac. But Tupac, people used to say, was a contradiction, walking contradiction. But that was really him balancing it out. Because for as many songs he said, bitch, ho, this, that, he had songs uplifting women too. You feel me? That cannot be said for a lot of artists in this day and age. A lot of them is just downing our women, especially our black women. Because a lot of these dudes are African American. And we as South Africans, we copy these dudes' music, they sound. You find these skr kids out here trying to replicate that shit. Talking about nigga, nigga, nigga. I don't even use nigga in my, I don't like even using it in my general speech nowadays. Because I'm very much into something called entomology. Um, I want to quote the exact meaning of entomology if this network, um, if this Wi-Fi will allow me. But I want to say exactly what entomology is. Let me find it. I think it's entomology or entology. Which one? No, my bad. So entomology is actually the study of insects and their relationship to humans. That's interesting. Never heard that. But I'm looking for, let's see, the study of the meaning of words. Let's see if we can find it. Let me just say that actually. The study of the meaning of words. Okay, it's giving me semantics now. Etymology, my bad. Etymology is the study of the history of words, right? By extension, the phrase the etymology of changes in the form and meaning of the word can be traced with the aid of older texts, if such are available, to a dialectological data, whatever that means. Basically, etymology is about what words mean and where they come from, right? And that's what I care about. So if you look at the meaning of a lot of words, you dig, like nigger, for example. There's different origins for it. There's the niggas origin coming from Ethiopia. Then we have the French, or taken from Latin definition, which comes from France, talking about a black object. First and foremost, I am not black. You feel me? Black is just a color. My ethnicity is African. I like looking at it from a geographical standpoint. Where were you born? What's your ethnicity? Fuck race. We know race does not exist. It's crazy. These are the things I'm talking about that are normalized that should not be normal. Race does not exist. There's only one race, the human race. The whole other nonsense of because of the skin tone and certain traits, all I'll say about that is that there are dominant traits and there are recessive traits. Figure out for yourself what that means. But at the end of the day, there's one race, the human race. Okay? So that's why I look at words like that. Nigga. Why are you in South Africa calling people nigga, 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 left, right, and center? Right? It's part of the hip hop culture. We changed it. We appropriated that word and gave it a better meaning. Okay. Okay, sharp. Fine. But how are you using it? Most of the time I hear it's kill a nigga, fuck a nigga, I hate that nigga. There's niggas, yar. There's ninjas out here literally saying I hate that nigga multiple times in songs. That's dangerous, guys. That's dangerous. Because, like, why I stopped listening to music religiously is that I figured out that it has an effect on my behavior. If you listen to something repeatedly, on like an hourly, daily basis, it's going to do something to the way you speak, the way you walk, the way you do things, the way you treat people, subconsciously. There is a conscious mind, right? That's me talking right now to you, and that's you listening to this audio. Then there's a subconscious mind. The subconscious mind is like, it's like the hard drive. You feel me? That's just downloading everything. It's storing everything that comes through. The conscious mind is filtering. It's surfing through these things and finding things to remember and recall. You dig? Now, if you're listening to something, if you're seeing something visually, for example, if you see an advert for Coca-Cola or some shit all the time after your favorite show or whatever soapy sitcom you like to listen to, if that's all you're seeing, when you're thirsty and you're outside, you're at the mall or wherever, when you're thirsty, the first thing you're going to think of is that Coca-Cola, because you've been seeing it how many times? That's programming. That's television programming for you. That's advertisement. That's marketing. Okay? So, back to now tying gender-based violence to all my topics. So, I was talking about music, right? So, that's why I moved away a little bit from hip hop and focused on listening to the type of hip hop I like. Because really, I like music. If it's good music, I don't care the genre. If it's good, I'll listen to it. I don't care if people call it white or this or that, black or whatever. If it sounds good, I will listen to it. But first and foremost, I am a fan of hip hop. I love and care for hip hop. So now, if I listen to a lot of hip hop songs, and here's the imbalance, media is a huge thing, it's a problem. Media is too powerful because media is the one that's pushing the antics, the gimmicks. It's pushing the artists that are not really artists. These people who are here to execute licks. You feel me? A lick is like a hustle. It's a robbery. It's in and out. It's a transactional type of thing. Came into music to make money. Doesn't really care about people or the art form. People like to use business, the music business, to suspend ethics and morality. They take these things and put them aside to say, no, that's business. Nothing personal. It's business. Fuck you mean nothing personal? Is it not a person doing the business? Then what the fuck are you saying? What you're saying is that because I'm making money from this thing, I'm not going to care what it does to people in a negative light. Right? There's people who openly say it. There's people who try and hide behind the term business. It's fine. Okay, sure. But what we see on social media is people who are selling us bullshit. Bullshit. Most of this music sounds mediocre. The frequency is horrible. It's hurting you. It's hurting our children. These kids now have smartphones at the ages of 7, 8, 9, 10 years old. This kid can be on Instagram, on Twitter, on Facebook, on Pinterest, on Tumblr, on Discord, on Twitch. I can keep going. We can all keep going. Patreon, whatever. These kids, I've seen people straight, having sex on Instagram. Live. Literally live. You can see that. And how do we regulate if a kid sees it or not? Or, because they have phones too. They get to have cell phone numbers. They get data. Not a lot of parents are downloading parental control apps, which is they do exist. You can download an app on your child's phone to regulate and control what they get to see. But a lot of parents are not doing that because a lot of parents are children themselves and they are on these same platforms. Yantol? I've seen people try to scoot their child out of the way just because they wanted to twerk on a video. I've seen people hit their child. I've seen that meme up in Mzansi Africa. Umama ufuna utwerk bethu umntana kube ngena kwe-video. What the fuck? The fuck is this? This is not normal. It's not right. We should not fucking let it be that. And I say it in a passionate way because I truly and honestly believe what I'm saying to y'all. This shit is not right, guys. It's not normal. And we should not allow it to continue. So in music, there's a certain group of artists that might have derogatory lyrics, but like Tupac, they balance it out. You feel me? For the most part, they show respect for women. I'll give you an example. An artist I really admire, Kendrick Lamar, on his biggest hit, Humble. He said, I'm tired of the Photoshop. Bruv, this nigga said he's tired of Photoshop. Show me something natural. And women, if it's really even women, because we don't even know on social media. I can go on any platform and make a profile, go find a random picture somewhere, and act like a woman online. Who knows? But I saw an article saying, yo, certain feminists or whatever came out and said he shouldn't say that because there's nothing wrong with having fake whatever. There's nothing wrong with people using filters and blah, blah, blah. Whoever said there's anything wrong with that? Kendrick Lamar said he's tired of that. Show him something natural. I agree. Me, I just want natural too. I'm not hating on anyone who did anything to themselves to look whatever way they feel they should look. To each their own, hence the name of the podcast. To each their own. Do what you want. Now, I don't want to say do what thou wilt. I thought about that. Do what thou wilt. Nah, that would mean you're not recognizing that there's a God. You feel me? God is very involved in the things you do. People don't talk about God anymore. God is like a weird thing to talk about these days. You mention God and people get this, even me now talking about it, I'm getting this weird feeling, you know? And I feel like that probably comes from what society has become. It's gone farther and farther away. Like I'm trying to say further and further away, far away from God. You dig? God is important, guys. I don't care what you call your God, how you worship your God, but there's certain teachings that are very simple. It's natural laws. Do unto others as you would have them do unto you. Wow. That does not seem complicated. And I think that's what really confuses people. In this day and age, we've all come to expect things to be complicated. Because when they're not, it scares you. It kind of really does when something is very simple and clear cut. And that's back to the dilemma I was talking about earlier. The dilemma that we have. The things that we like this music that sounds so dope. Like the junk food that we like. The fizzy drinks, the chocolates, the sweets, the popcorn, uh, the meat, the red meat, the dairy, you dig, the clothes, the cars, the homes, all these things. You feel me? The new phone, the new smartphone, the new iPhone, whatever. The Samsung, this, that, how many cameras you got, how many all that nonsense. The shoes, the everything, Joe. Like these things don't really matter. They are extras that we have put in this fucking environment, in the world. The world is us. We created that. But there's something called Earth, Mother Earth. And she is amazing. She's not going anywhere, by the way. People talking about the end of the world and all that. Nah, fam. If the end of the world is the end of us as human beings, how we live on this earth. The earth has been here for way longer than us. It will be here after us. You feel me? Stop taking yourself so fucking seriously. We don't really matter like that. We are just the universe experiencing itself in each individual. And here's another contradiction that might confuse certain people, but it's actually very simple. But like I said, up is down, left is right, down is up. Simple is complicated, and complicated is simple. But ultimately, ultimately, the things we do, good and bad, are balanced by us. We are the fence. You feel me? You are the fence in between these two things. You decide whether something is wrong or right. It's really up to you. There's certain things that we can't control. Um like like time, for instance. I'm looking at the time now, and I said at the beginning of this I didn't want to go over 111, 112, but I'm already on 110, 30 seconds now. So fuck it. I can't control how I got passionate talking about gender-based violence, and kind of like seeped through into everything else. That's why the other title of this podcast is Not So Random Thoughts. It's kind of like random thoughts, but not really. There's nothing really that's coincidence. There's a reason it's flowing like this, right? So, back to the music. I look at this music and it has to change. It has to become something with balance, which is that's the balancing act that we have to have throughout life. We have all these things that we like to do that are wrong. We have to change the way we are living. And that's not easy. It is, but it's not. You feel me? I'm going on a journey of my own. Um I'm going to start cutting certain things out of my diet forever. And these include things like dairy products, any type of dairy product, really, which is going to be hard because I am addicted to chocolate. I love it. But I'm going to stop dairy. I'm going to stop, which is milk, yogurt, cheese, all of that. That's not going to be easy, but I'm going to do that. I want to be an example not only for myself but to my family also, because I affect what they do a lot through my actions. So dairy, red meat, um, which is your lambs, your martins, your beefs. I've never really liked beef anyway. Your porks of the world, I'm gonna stop that. I want to stop chicken too eventually. Even fish. I want to get on a plant-based diet, but you take steps to do that. You just don't cut it off once and think you're gonna win. I've tried that. We are addicted. We are all addicts. Each and every one of us, we are addicts. You could have never smoked in your life, never drank in your life, never done any drugs or whatever, but you are an addict to something. You are addicted to something, whether it be a behavior, a substance, whatever, an item. That's addiction. Okay, that's why people are addicted to social media right now. And understand that social media, all of it, it's designed for you to be addicted to it. They study gambling, you feel me? They study your psychology and serotonin and dopamine, the chemicals that come out of your brain, the certain glands in your body, they release and make you feel happy or satisfied or fulfilled by something. They study that. You feel me? That's why they know women like to scroll, because they watched you play Candy Crush. What's it called? Candy Crush or whatever. They watched women scrolling and tapping on their screen, so they know you like that. They know us as men, we are visual beings, so we like videos. That's why there's more men on YouTube than there's women. And, and more women on places with pictures and stuff than there's men. You dig? So it's a psychology type of thing. So understand this. We are all addicts to something. So you need to wean yourself off. What does that mean? Like, you need to slowly take yourself off of something by reducing the amount by which you engage or take some certain substance. So I'm going to reduce the amount of dairy products I use. One by one, I'm going to eliminate them. I've started with milk already, and then I'm going to continue. Then the meats I've already started also. I've never really liked the red meats like that. Only pork really. And I like red meat when it's fried. That's pretty much it. So I can stop that. The harder things that I'm going to struggle with is the chocolate, to be honest, the chips, the juice. Because even 100% juice is not really that good for you, because it's too much, what they call it, fructose, sucrose. It's too much sugar. Because the fiber from the fruit lets you know that, yo, I'm full now. That's enough. You eat an apple, you'll know, okay, I'm good. A banana, I'm good. But you're drinking apple juice, that's just the water from it. Now you can drink a whole liter of that and still be thirsty. Same as Coca-Cola or whatever, any fizzy drink. You drink that, you find yourself thirsty for water still, but your stomach is full. John. Yantol. So I'm going to start doing that with myself, um, to better my health and my well-being, mentally, spiritually, physically, all of that. Because at the end of the day, the music we consume, it affects us. The technologies we use, it affects us. You feel me? The media. Look at the CV-19 situation. Ah, Jesus. I can't say much on it. I gotta figure out a way to speak on it because of certain platforms and how they're censoring and dictating and regulating how people speak about certain things. That within itself is wrong. Secondly, in my humble opinion, the people who are at most risk in our society, the elderly, sickly, people who already have other illnesses, disparities in their health, things that are not right. These are the people who are supposed to be quarantined. These are the people who are supposed to be protected using things like face masks and shields and um, sanitizing and all that. All right? There was no real need to shut down economies unless, one, you're covering something up, or you're covering something up, or you're covering two things up and you don't want it to show. So when I look at these things and I look at the disparity, the disproportionate nature of this thing, right? You look at it in certain countries, developed countries, it's affecting uh, uh, people of a certain skin tone, the black and brown, they call them. These are the people getting affected the most because they don't have good health care. That goes back to what? Economy, commerce, the rates of unemployment. Look at South Africa. We had like 30%. Youth unemployment 30, 36, 37%. I stand corrected. You feel me? Next podcast, I'm going deeper into these things, but like, yo, that's not right, because that's not 30% of the people in South Africa. That's 30% of the people who can work, who are in the workforce. So what about the people who are not economically active? The people in the informal sector. Most of our economy is driven for the the bottom half of it. It's driven by the informal sector. You feel me? So all of this is still apartheid money. It's apartheid money. Because the people who still have the land, which is the real money, who still control the gold, the silver, those people are the same people who did 26, 30 years ago, before I existed. You feel me? Those same families are still the richest families in this whole fucking country, in this continent. And so CV-19 is a bad that you can look at in a good way. It's a fucked up shitty situation for humankind. You feel me? It's the 1% of the 1% trying to take over the world, or so they say. Conspiracy theories, they say they are, right? But go back to etymology. Look at the meaning and origin of words and you figure out a lot of things. Go look at the words you like to use and look at their meanings. Look at where they come from. And you'll figure out a lot of things about the world you live in. So when I look at this thing and how it's affecting the Eastern Cape where I'm from, I knew when it got into the East. Whew, I know from my own grandmother's experience of having a stroke while waiting in a hospital to be helped, waiting for a bed. She had her second stroke. First one got her there. Second one she had it there because no one was really taking care of her. Because a lot of these people are working jobs that they don't want to work. They just went into nursing because it was something to do. Yantol? There's not a lot of teachers who are passionate about their job. There's not a lot of police officers, traffic officers, whatever. Different administrations, from Home Affairs to Labor to SARS. Yantol? A lot of those people are just there because it's something, it's a job, it's a salary, it's a pension. That's another problem with our economy and how we've built up this gross domestic product type of economy, this dollar-based trading economy. Why does the dollar have to affect our rand? Why is this economy set up in such a way that everything circulates against this one currency? You feel me? Why do we care? Like, it's so much. It's a lot to absorb, you know? Like, why do we care about money? Literally, these people print the money. They have printing machines. And so like, if you can print money, then what's the use of saving it? Because by the time you take it out, it can't buy what it could back then. Because everything has gone up. Because there's more money circulating in the environment, which means prices are raised to balance that out. Yantol? That's why we're getting SMSs. Hi, congratulations, Banban. Because, we got this money for you. Come and get a loan. Yantol? Like, that's why they're offering us so much credit, because they're printing all this money and there's so much fucking money in the system. And it's going to crash. This is history repeating itself. But each time it does, it goes to another level of extreme. So with the CV-19 situation, we need to be very, very careful. This is a time that we got to sit down. It seems like forever, but literally it's been a couple of months. Feb, March, so 3-4 months we've been dealing with this nonsense, and so much has changed. So take this time, as I am, to sit down, think about what do you want to do with your life. These are not easy questions to answer. These are scary things. Because I think about it too. Like, I think about where I am now. And it scared me to think that I might never get the chance to travel like I wanted to. I might never get the chance to do certain things that I wanted to do because of what we have now as our reality. But on the flip side of that, I came to realize that, when was I going to do those things that I wanted to do? Because I kept putting them off and later. Procrastination. Nah, Gomso. Nah, next week. Even this, I put off doing this whole podcast, whatever situation, for about a week now, 2 weeks. I'd planned to drop it back in June, my birthday month. But nah, I'd wake up, it's raining one other day, feel slouchy and down, want to chill, wake up groggy and tired, and because I slept late on the internet, browsing, just infinite scrolling. Think about these things. You'll be on checking on the coronavirus numbers. Next thing you know, boom, you're watching a kitten video. But how? Because it's infinite scrolling. You just scroll, it keeps reload. When I grew up, you used to scroll and get to the bottom of the page and say, okay, more results, or page 2. Ain't none of that now. They want you continuously on. That's why they're putting on certain features now to say, okay, this is how much you've been online. This is how much you've been using this app and this app. I checked it on the Android, the OS, the operating system updates, and also certain apps. Your Facebooks, your Instas, your WhatsApps. They'll give you these numbers. You have to now tell yourself to go to sleep using a reminder on your phone. Like, being tired and wanting to sleep is not enough. Needing the recovery is not enough. You have to use an app to remind yourself to get off your own phone. What is that? Is that not addiction, Bantu Bengos? If that is an addiction, I do not know what is. So this CV-19 has opened a lot of eyes. It has given us the opportunity to really look at ourselves deeply and strongly, thoroughly. Oh my gosh, it's so thorough. Because you're literally sitting in the house with nothing in the world to do but go on the internet, eat, sleep, shit, repeat. Yentol. Now, there are many things you can do, but it starts with this. Start from a place of not knowing. This is where I'm starting from. I know nothing. I am nothing. Yentol. This is my foundation. I know nothing. Without a shadow of a doubt, 100% surety, certainty, there's nothing I truly know. There's a certain level of faith and belief that I have to have into something. Because there's things I've believed for years to be facts, only to find out that nah, it's actually a lie. Enter. One example, Christmas. I was so proud when my family told me they're not celebrating Christmas no more. I was like, damn. I used to be like the black. I'm probably still am actually, but like I was really the black sheep of the family because I never wanted to do nothing. Like I don't care about no Mother's Day or Father's Day or whatever, Valentine's Day, all these holidays, these money holidays, Christmas, whatever, Halloween. I do not care about these things because I know what they are. And so once they were like, nah, they had a whole Christmas tree that we bought last year and stuff with the lights and everything, threw it away because they realized through watching some of these videos and finding more information and really studying our history, this is a time to go back, learn something new, man. You don't even have to read nowadays. You can have someone read it for you. There's videos of people talking about these things, Joe. Like really excel. Like just educate yourself. It starts with unlearning. This is why my foundation is not knowing nothing. I know nothing. You feel me? That's where I start from. Then I move from there and go on to saying, okay, this is what I believe. I don't know it to be true, but this is what I believe. And then I'm going to try and find facts to support that belief. Now, in finding the facts, you need to know what's not fact also. You need to know what's opinion. We need to know what's a fallacy, what's a falsehood, what's a lie, what's not true, what's a fiction, what's a half-truth, what's a manipulation of the truth. And that takes time to be able to surf through these things, right? To be able to figure out these things. Like, it's not easy. It's not supposed to be. But it's not hard either. And that's all I'm saying. That's really what I'm saying. It's not easy, but it's not hard. Yantol, it's possible. If I can do it, if I am here, out here talking to I don't know who is listening to this, maybe one person views this. I have a video on YouTube somewhere now, like a freestyle, that has no views. I do not give a fuck. Why? Because like I need to let these thoughts out. I need to vent. I be thinking these things, and I don't like a lot of the things I think about. I have lyrics speaking to that. I don't like a lot of the things I think about. I can think about very dark things. That's just how my mind works. It works in a certain duality. I can go to both extremes. Some people will call it Gemini traits, or if you into Egyptian mythology, Hathor, Egyptian god Hathor. That's the trait, being able to balance those two extremes out of good and bad, the yin and yang of the world. But like, I feel like I'm just an expression of what every other human is too. I doubt that I'm the only one having these kind of thoughts, you know? Certain thoughts, of course, because I'm an individual, are going to be my own, but I believe a lot of people can relate to what I'm thinking. So use CV19 to benefit you. Figure out what you want to do with your life and your existence. And that's 50% of the job. 50% is figuring out, what do I want to do with myself? The other 50% is figuring out, how am I going to do it? It's the pertinent questions, the important questions. How, why, when, who, where, what? And so figure those out and then do it. Because I've been thinking about doing a podcast or something like this since the first time I heard about something like this. Me and my homies, me and the dudes used to have deep conversations, cosmic conversations, and wish we recorded that, because I feel like certain people just need to hear these things. So I'm using CV19 to reassess my whole existence. I'm using this crisis, pandemic or plandemic, whatever it's called. I'm using this situation to find myself and my purpose in life. A lot of things are dire. A lot of things are bad. They're not gonna be good anytime soon. It's the serenity prayer. Accept what I can change, you know, change what I, it's really accept what I can't change what I can, you know, and pray for the wisdom. I'm freestyling, but like pray for the wisdom of knowing the difference between the two, the difference between things I can change and things I can't change. That's wisdom. Because once I realize, okay, this I can't change and kwazi yenza nix izawuhlala inje, okay, yintoni enoyitshintsha, yintoni enoyiphucula apha ebomini bam enoyenza ibe ngcono. Yanthola? And we need to all figure these things out as a society, because each link has to be strong for the whole chain, for us as South A to be strong, for us as Africa to be strong. Yanthola? So when it comes to the CV19, get your herbs, get your fruits, get your veggies. Yanthola? Get your gingers, your garlics, your lemon, your honeys, yanthola? Get things that boost your immune system. Go outside, breathe air, fresh air. Yanthola? Put on a mask when you go out. It's mandated. We can't. What are you gonna do? You feel me? Put it on, but don't cover your nose. Breathe in through your nose and out through your nose. Yanthola? Breathe. Get some sun once in a while. Not even once in a while, whenever you can, whenever you see it, go sit in it. You know, sunshine is good for the soul. It's energy, yo. I don't know about no vitamins. I don't know about no minerals. I just know that there's certain things that are good for you and there's certain things that are not. Acid, it's not. So look at what food is acidic and what food is alkaline. So basically, that's saying food that is not acidic. Yantol, because alkaline might be a word that confuses people, but yo, it's just something that is not acidic, like water. That's not acid. If you shake it, it's not gonna start creating those foamy bubbles, right? So even our water is not clean. I know that. They put things like fluoride in our water. For what good reason? I don't know. There isn't a good reason. There's only bad ones. But these things are there. But understand you can boil water, make it cleaner, put in a little Himalayan salt. But understand, don't follow me. Don't listen to what I say. Things I do, these are things I find on the internet that have worked for myself. I don't know if they'll work for you. It's possible. But I'm just suggesting things. I don't like giving advice out because like, here's an example. We could be looking at the same thing but see it differently. So how the fuck am I going to give you advice on something I don't know? I don't know how you're experiencing a certain situation, but if I've been through it, I can give you suggestions on what you can possibly do. At the end of the day, it's up to you. So boost your immune system. I don't see nobody saying these things on the news. You know? Our so-called leaders don't say these things. Boost your immune system. These are things we should have been doing way before the virus. Yantol, way before we should have been there already. But now we've been given some time to sit down as a people. So whether it be the powers that be, the 1% of the 1%, for the agenda that they have, whether it be God doing this, and whether it's a mixture of both, I do not really care. At the end of the day, there's certain things I cannot change. Now, for the things that I can change, I am going to change and change them for the better. So, I'm trying to eat better, breathe better, sleep better. I'm an insomniac by nature. 6 hours tops and I'm good. You know, they say 8 hours of sleep. Yeah, not for me. But like, I struggle to even get those 6. So I'm working on that. I'm working on stretching more. Just simple things like stretching is important. You know, before you even exercise, stretch. Start practicing that. You know, taking small steps, little small incremental steps towards something bigger and better for yourself in your life. This is possible. And this is what I aspire to, you know. And that's it in terms of CV19 for now. And then in terms of the I see it abbreviated a lot of times, you know, these acronyms: gender-based violence, GBV, uh, things like that. I don't like, you know. It's making it common, and it's making it somewhat normal. Nah, I do not like that. But yeah, speaking about gender-based violence and domestic violence, violence against women and children, and violence in general, crime. Understand, crime is going to go up. Me and my family have already experienced crime elements that woke us up to the fact that crime is going to go rampant during this time. People are out of work. You feel me? The informal sector is crippled. It's disabled. It's not operating as it would usually do. People are not spending as much as they used to. So where are people going to find the funds to fund their livelihood? You know? So we're going to find people who maybe would have not been criminals become criminals because they're trying to eat or trying to feed their family. And so then these things are going to keep on growing and becoming larger in the next few months, going into next year, right? So when it comes to this gender-based violence, I've grown up in a household that is predominantly women. Only males in my household, the immediate household, has been myself, my younger uncle, and my older uncle. Then it's aunts. I have a younger aunt. I have about 3 aunts, I think, immediate aunts. That's a younger aunt, middle, and then older. Then it's my mom, it's my grandmom, it's my 2 little sisters. So I've grown up around women. I think it's partly why I can I speak to women a certain way and I respect women a certain way because I love these women. And I say this to say that it's not just because I have sisters or a mother. Let's say I was raised by a father and I only had brothers. I still need to be able to treat women right, regardless. So we need to teach each other, guys. You know, we need to learn with each other. For instance, certain things are normalized, like you'll find school children in the upper primaries, you know, to your senior secondaries, that date older men. You know, legally it's statutory rape. It's sexual intercourse with a minor, legally. But it's so normalized in our communities that most men, including myself, participated in that. You know what I mean? It's messed up, but it's a reality because it's been normalized. And then on the flip side, I know a lot of people, including myself, who've had experiences with older women at a very young age. And that was statutory rape and molestation and abuse. But because I'm a guy, okay, that's just normal. This is it. Huh? I'm cool, right? Nah, fam. That's wrong. These are things we need to. There's a lot of things that we've normalized, grown up, found normal, which are not. The school system, fucked up. When I did a little research about schools, once again, I stand corrected, but schools, by my understanding, were initially created in their current, manifestation as they are now. They were created for factory workers, for them to be able to operate certain machinery, to read labels on those machines in factories. That's why those things were created, certain subjects. Never used to even study mathematics in school. You feel me? So once I realized that, I was like, oh shit, of course. That's why the school system is fucked up. It was never designed to grow you as a human being, develop you. It was designed to teach you how to be a worker. And university is just the same thing at a deeper scale. That's like a indoctrination. It's like a programming facility. It's a factory. You can come out, you can go into varsity neutral maybe and come out either on the far right of things or on the far left. I'm saying good or bad. You can come out a better person or a more fucked up you. It's up to you. But I realized from that piece of information that, school system, not for us. You gotta self-study, self-educate, unlearn a lot of things. Okay? Racism, I told you, race does not exist. You feel me? I think the cousin of the guy, who's this guy? I remember studying about this guy back in primary and high school. When you study evolution, Charles Darwin, yeah. So you learn about Charles Darwin, and I think he had a cousin, something, Eliza, starts with an EL, some weird name, but another Darwin, which is his cousin. It might have been female, might have been male, I'm not sure. I think it was a dude though, because back in those times they didn't even let women become scientists and stuff. But anyway, this dude was the one who came with the whole idea of race and actually scientifically said, like, a certain color, white people or Caucasian people, are superior to people who are not Caucasian, to everybody else, basically. These were actual papers that you find in scientific journals. This, for a long time, was fact until it was disreputed, until it was disproven, until it was found to be false. It was fact that we, as black and brown people, as they call us, we as African people, people of African descent, we are inferior to these people of European descent. When we all descend from Africa, we all descend from one place, Earth. Even if you follow the whole evolution thing, we all come from this one organism that walked out of the ocean. And all, like, there's no such thing, but we find it systematically there. Institutional racism, really, it's prejudice based on the color of your skin, the language you speak, where you're from, your age, your gender. It's all prejudice. It's judging people based on certain traits, disproportionately, unfairly. So racism That's something we especially looking at what happened with Bulelani Xolisa. I hope I didn't missay that name. Um, it trended. It was viral. A man taken out of his shack forcefully, naked, while he washed or whatever. You see these men wrestling a naked man on video in 2020. And he fights. He gets back into his shack and they still tear down the shack while he's in there. What if a piece of zinc hit him? What is this? This disregard for human life by people, some of the people with the same skin color as himself. Yantol? So we've been taught self-hatred, to hate ourselves, to want the approval of these other people, that other race that thinks that they're superior to us, that thinks that they're better than us. Why do you have to consistently say it over the years? Why do you have to repeat it? Why do you have to oppress us if you are really superior? If you were, you would not have to do that. And that's why I want to take it away from colors. That's why I was like, I'm not black. I'm an African man. So if we take it away from colors, you come to realize that there's good people in this world and there's bad people in this world. Now, no one is bad 100%, no one is good 100%. We are all a mix of both. Now, what you act on says who you are. Which side do you act on? The righteous or the wicked side of your nature? So when you see those men doing that to that man, they are following orders. Where did those orders come from? I thought under the law, we're not supposed to be evicting people. Listen, right now, you might be able to hear it. It's raining outside. How are you going to evict people when obviously if people are building shacks, they don't have a place to stay? Yantol, give them land rather. Stop giving budgets back for informal settlement money or whatnot. Stop giving those budgets back to the national government. Start actually using that money. And the national government is not innocent in itself either. They're doing this all around South Africa. Talking about land invasion. How are you invading land that you were born on? Your ancestors were born on this land and somehow you're invading. How? Whose land? These people came here with this whole idea of privatization, the individualistic approach to life. This is mine. Stay away. Mine, mine, mine. Take, take, take. Never give. That's the capitalistic mentality. And I'm not even against capitalism. I'm against what this capitalism is. You feel me? Because in truth, capitalism is just people making things and selling them. If you make something that people want and need, then you deserve to get rich from it. Wealthy even. That's fair to me. But this current system we have, call it, I don't know, new capitalism or classical capitalism, this shit is messed up because people are making things that are unnecessary just to fucking make money. People are making things. Some people are not even making things. They're just copying people, bro. You know? And that's messed up. Now, our cultures are gonna cross. We're gonna mix, our traditions, our customs across cultures and so-called races. Air quotes. But like at the end of the day, we are part of one human race. And there's certain people who want to oppress people. certain people who want to help people. I've known black elites. I've seen black people be more racist than white people in certain cases. And so these things are possible. It happens. It's about the spirit that's within. In your essence, you know what's right and wrong. The Bible is written within you. You feel me? And religion is another topic I'll touch upon another day. That's a whole 2 hours within itself. But like, really, we know these things. We just fighting them because it's easier to just be like, okay, this is what we have happening. Let me be outraged with the rest of the world. Let me tweet something. Let me be triggered. Oh, I'm so sensitive. Fuck your sensitivity. You're sensitive about the wrong things. I don't care about people being sensitive. Be sensitive, but about the right fucking things. Be sensitive about gender-based violence, the abuse of children and women, pedophilia, pedophiles. Fuck you. Be sensitive about those things. Institutional racism. You feel me? Modern day slavery with people being put in jails, stacked like animals. People being pulled out of their shacks naked. Be outraged. Why are you not sensitive about that? You see? And you see what really matters when you watch these fuckers speak. Watch them in these interviews. Watch them. Listen to their tone. You see what really matters. You feel me? I don't really care about giving you no jobs and shit. Okay. Well, look at this economy. What's a job nowadays? Huh? There's not much job security out there, right? So, what really matters? Watch them when they talk about the land. You see how riled up, how agitated, how sensitive they get when you talk about land. That's where the money is. That's where the economy is. Land. You feel me? So that's what's important, and that's what I realized. I don't really own shit in this world. You feel me? If I were to die, I'm leaving a few possessions to the people I love. Whereas if I have land, it's not a given, but I possibly have wealth. Because it's land and what you do with it also. So that's part of it. We got to figure out what are we going to do with ourselves, people. And I'm talking to the people. I'm talking to anybody. Elite, whether you come from, money or not, whether you wealthy, rich, or poor, or everything in between that. It doesn't matter. At the end of the day, there's certain things that are coming. There's certain things that are going to happen. I hope to God that I'm wrong. But I've been blessed with a certain sight. You feel me? To feel these things, to see these things. And I know there's certain things that are coming. A lot of changes in the next 10 years. For the better and for the worst of our humanity. And it's going to come down to choices. Tough ones. Are you going to be able to change everything about yourself? How you exist, how you do things, who you do things with, where, how, when, with whom. These are very important things. You feel me? Because we used to look, I know for a fact people look at people who come from the village like they, primitive or something, uncivilized. When to me, that is the most civilized way of living. That is the most civilized, smart, strategic, and really healthy way of living. In nature, around nature, living off the earth. These are the things we're going to have to go back to. Unlearn, relearn. You feel me? teach ourselves new skills. That's what this economy is showing us, because I'm telling you, it's going to crash. All these currencies are going to crash. The stock markets or whatever, they're going to crash. I could be wrong. Probably am. I don't care. This is how I feel. So, saving money has its place. If you're saving money to do something with it, makes sense. If you're saving money just to spend it on the things you usually spend it on, not really. So save money with the purpose. Buy an asset. Buy something that can make you money. It's simple. Asset liability. Asset, something that brings money in. Liability, something that takes money out of your pocket. Klar. Clean. And turn. So figure that out. I'm also doing the same. I'm not here to preach to nobody. I'm not here as this is no master class on anything. Until, like I told you, I do not care if you subscribe or not. I do not care if you like, share, or comment. Until, but I know psychology. I said these things, they're in your mind now. Whether you do it or not, I want you to be able to really listen to this content and decide for yourself if it's worth sharing, if it's worth saying something about, if it's worth liking or disliking. I don't give a fuck. I don't. I'm not a little Joe. Like, ha. So we know now. Okay, I've covered gender-based violence. That needs to stop. It starts with women. And it starts with men and women. We need to work together. There's too many things dividing us. You know? Too many things. Men are trash. Okay. And then what? These trends, these hashtags, watch those things. Until at the end of the day, we need to teach these children, boys, girls, how to treat each other and love each other. Most of them already know how. They don't care about their skin color and whatnot. They love each other. We are the ones who teach them not to. So that's one. Gender-based violence needs to stop, and women need to take responsibility of the men that they choose to have around them. I know men lie. People act like what they want you to think they are, what they think you want them to be. People can do that. But really, you need to go deep into somebody's psyche and know what they are about. And if something happens once, twice, third time, you need to know it's over. Remove yourself from that situation. That's the power that you can take. You feel me? Then, us as men, we just need to stop doing this. Stop doing it. If you are listening to this and have ever hurt a woman, go and ask for amends. Forgive yourself and ask for forgiveness. Pray, whatever you need to do, meditate, I don't care. Stop doing it. If you've witnessed it, if you know of someone, a family member, a friend doing it, stop them, help them stop doing that shit. Until it's important. It really, we need to be the ones to initiate it, you know, and mend our relationship with our women, because they've been oppressed since the beginning of time. The Bible writes Eve took that apple. Eve came from a man's rib. Women have always been put in a position where they are subordinate to men. Whereas it's actually, if you look at Egyptian mythology and that history, there they show you that it's a balance between the two. You need the male and the feminine energies. You need the childlike energy. Don't let that child inside of you die. Just because I'm an adult now. I'm an adult. I can't do these immature things. Fuck that. Do what you want. Do what you feel like doing, what makes you feel happy. You feel me? and make sure that it doesn't make any other person feel sad. Right and responsibility. CV19, we're about to be living with this for a while, so I'll dive into that more in the next few episodes. Racism, I just touched upon deeply, but I'm still gonna go deeper into that. Then the economy, this is what I'm talking about with the land. You know, there's things like gold, silver, Bitcoin, things that appreciate in these tough times. Because paper money is just that. It's paper money. It has no effect. You feel me? It's not really backed by anything. It used to be backed by gold, but 1970 something, things changed. Or was it 17 something? Yeah, 1970 something in America they changed it, then the world copied. This is that issue. Same with that's our economy. Technology is the next topic. Same thing. We copy all these things that come from the States and Europe, and they don't really apply to Africa like that. I feel like these people are trying to kill us. They're trying to depopulate us. And Tola, because the salvation of the world, of mankind, is here with the mother of mankind. Alke Bulan. Mother Earth, the Garden of Eden, that's Africa. That's where the salvation of this whole human race is at. That's why they want to destroy us. But God, God is great. So let's speak about technology. I'm using technology to do this whole thing right now. So there's good to technology, right? Social media, you know, your video platforms, video audio platforms, your community type platforms. These things, they have their place in society. They're important, especially during this time. All right, excuse me, but okay. Somehow technology is hurting us too, very much so. Yeah. Even before this whole CV19 situation, you could find that technology is making us not communicate like we used to. I'm sure each and everyone has an example of them trying to say one thing, maybe by typing it or whatever, posting it, and then them having to explain something else that they did not mean because someone read it and interpreted something in their own way because it was written down. Okay. That's the distance that it creates between us. We could be in the same room and not talk, but be on WhatsApp and shit. That's a problem. It cannot substitute human interaction. It's not there for that. It's a tool that you can use. If you're not using it, then it is using you. I'm looking at a laptop right now, recording this with my cell phone, right? Sitting in a car. These are pieces of technology that are helping me right now to do what I'm trying to do. To spread something, a message. However, in the same way that I'm trying to spread this uplifting type of message, there's people trying to spread the opposite. But they don't package it like that. They make you think it's something of value to you somehow, some way, but it's not. Really, they're confusing you, dividing you within yourself. One, you have inner conflicts, then you have conflicts with the people around you, your immediate environment. This is what technology is doing, from your YouTubes to your Twitter, Facebook, WhatsApp. And Facebook owns all of those motherfuckers. Then Google owns thingy, YouTube. And think about that. There's no other YouTube really. No other Twitter, no other Okay, there's Vimeo. No one really uses Vimeo, right? I'm sure there's alternatives to Twitter, alternatives to Instagram, alternatives to Entor. I remember there used to be something called Mixit at some point, but it couldn't survive. Had to turn into chat rooms and whatnot. Entor. There's no real alternative to these major companies, these corporations that are monopolizing everything, which is fine. I'm also using them to promote myself. Yeah, bro. I'm going to use them to promote this pod. So once again, you are the fence. You are the deciding factor. You choose what's real or not. What's something that you can turn into good and what's something you can turn into bad. And it's up to you if you actually do it. Perception. So there's a lot of things that are coming technology wise. You know, virtual reality is already now booming. You have robots and AI already in the system, right? There's we have jobs where we're teaching these machines how to be more human, right? They selling our data. They're selling our data. Every time you're on any platform, on any device, your data is being used. There's probably someone listening to this podcast right now, somewhere. You feel me? That's you. We living in a surveilled state, surveilled state of mind, state of existence. I don't know, but like that's technology, and there's more. Oh, there's way more. But we're already on 2 hours 10 minutes. Okay, two more topics. I won't go too long on these ones. Then we have humanity. I think pretty much most of what I've talked about sums up humanity as a topic. What we're going through right now as a human race collectively, it can be very depressing. I've gone through the emotions of depression, anxiety, fear of the unknown, fear of failure, fear of success even, you know, fear of doing things, talking to people. I have certain issues about my appearance, my teeth. I have yellow teeth. My nose is messed up. It's small and flat. I have big eyes, and my lips are not that big. Almost have like a double chin. I don't have a beard. I'm short. Um, my hands and fingers are messed up. My toes, one of my toes, like my index toe, is longer than my big toe. You know, these little things that we don't like about ourselves. These things that we don't like about our existence. Once again, can I change it? Can I not? Accept what I can't change what I can, and pray for the wisdom to know the difference. So I went through those emotions of like, what have I done with myself? I don't have no, I don't have a permanent job. And so never really did, to be honest. I'm not really happy with my degree that I have. You know, studied in a Bachelor of Arts. People think that's music and drama and some shit. That's actually just geography, sociology, anthropology, psychology, things like these. These are the electives that the other disciplines take. Your law, your commerce, your science. You know, I could have gone into those faculties, but I was like, nah, I didn't transfer. You feel me? I learned a lot more outside of the classroom or the lecture hall than I did inside. I came to realize that, and I accepted it wholly. So I told myself, okay, went through all these emotions, deep depression, like the fact that I'm not able to financially help my family fucks me up all the time, every day, all day. Now, I've always been blessed. As dark as it happens and it comes, these emotions, I realize I've always been blessed. I still have some money, you know? I make means to get money some way or whatever. But like, I've never had what I wanted. I've never been able to do what I wanted to do for my grandmom and my mom and my two little sisters and my uncle and, you know, my nephews and nieces and you know, my family on my dad's side, which is a whole another issue. Only met my dad when I was like 12, you know, and these are personal things that I'm saying now. It's fucked up. And these are things that were playing in my mind and continue to play in my mind. I realized that that voice in your head that tells you that you can't do things, that voice in your head that says it's not possible, not you. You know, don't do it, don't try it. You're going to embarrass yourself. You will fail. I mean, even if you do, if you don't try, how the fuck will you ever know? That's what I realized. That voice is not to be killed. That voice has to stay there. But it has to know that I am in control. I am not going to let fear dictate my life. I mean, 26 years I've already done that. 26 fucking years I've been through a gang load of shit, from backstabbing to, you know, betrayal to failure and hurt, from family to friends to strangers. And so, but at the same time, in those same years, I've experienced love and affection and blessings from strangers, from family, from estranged people, from people I don't even like. So that's humanity. It's a contradiction. It's an oxymoron. It's a paradox. We're all living our own parable. You know, we're all part of our own proverbs. Everyone can come up with their own proverb from their own experiences in life, lessons, and so. So, yeah, that's humanity. And I'm going to dive deeper into that. That's a topic that I feel like is foundational. Because now there's a lot of division. We're all divided. And so, like, futsek, man. Futsek. Fuck that shit. That's nonsense to me. Let's stop doing that shit. And this goes for music also. Okay, last topic. We're on 2 hours 16 minutes. Last topic. Music. This is my love. This is my life. You know, always wanted to create music. I think from a young age I knew I was not just going to be listening to music forever. I wanted to make it at some point. A lot of things, clothing even, you know, technology. I have the type of mind that has ideas on how to make things. I like to create, make new things, different things. Take the old things and make them less old or new or whatever, you know. So when it comes to music, this is another topic that I'm going to be diving into in the next few episodes. I don't know if I'm going to be dropping daily. Probably not. It took me, I don't know how many weeks to do this. So I'll probably be dropping weekly, but maybe multiple drops a week. Maybe make it a shorter type of podcast. I'm probably going to try and cut these into shorter videos also. This is a lot of content. But yeah, music is going to be a continuing topic. And like I said, like, there's a lot that needs to change. in terms of hip hop specifically, but music as a whole. Because a lot of music now is influenced by hip hop. Because hip hop became, I think it was last year or the year before that, maybe 2017, if I'm not mistaken, it became the most popular genre in the States, which means it makes the most money, which means it's one of the most popular genres of music in the world now. So the influence is there, and music is one of the only genres. I think if it is the only genre because it's the youngest. The youngest genre kind of encompasses everything else. So music encompasses um, jazz and rock and soul, house and country and Afrikaans music, all these other types of music from all around the world, Spanish and whatever. Hip hop can encompass that. It can infuse and mix that into it. So I feel like hip hop has to lead like it used to. It used to be protest music. It used to be a form of expression for yourself and others, you know. But now it's a money making scheme because they put so much money. They started flooding music with money, and that draws people who just want to do it for the money into it. Can I blame them? No. You gotta make it how you make it. I can't knock how anybody. Excuse me. I can't knock how anybody chooses to live their life, and so to each their own. Once again, do what works for you. I'm just talking about what I want to see happen. Because as much as there is good music out there is balanced music with the message out there. It's just not getting the shine that it should on media platforms, social media. The bullshit keeps trending. And I don't even want to mention these whack ass rappers, uh, uh, these clout chasers. The whatever you call them, swag rappers, mumble rappers, whatever they are. Like I said, I can't knock your hustle. I can't. I won't knock your hustle. And but actually, full stop. I won't knock your hustle. Full stop. Start another sentence. When it comes to the youth, that's where it stops for me. Music influences youth. Music is energy, it's a frequency, right? So, like I said earlier, you hear something repeatedly, it gets beat into your subconscious. That sub-ego in your mind latches onto it. You might not even know where it's coming from. It's that music you listen into. It's the TV shows you be watching, the pages you follow. These things are affecting who you are. That's why we are cyborgs. What's a cyborg? A cyborg is a mixture between human and machine. Right now, it's detached. You can still put that cell phone away, but technology is coming where they want to attach it to your brain. They already have glasses and stuff. We got earpods and stuff, things that you could put on your helmets and shit, goggles. But it's going to get to a point where they want to put chips and shit inside of you so that you can use all the same technology. But now you can't turn it off. You can't take it out. You can't disconnect. You can't log off. You can't sign out. And that's the issue. So while we still can, it's threefold. Now, media, we can't really control like that, but we can dictate to, because they follow what the people do. You watch the news now, they be showing tweets and shit. They be showing social media. They post they broadcasts on your YouTubes and shit. And so the internet killed just how TV killed radio. The radio killed the newspaper. Internet is killing all of that shit. Right? You online, it's electricity, it's bandwidth. It's a lot. But at the end of the day, we as the people have power enough to control what the media does, because they want to have connection to us as the masses. So if we say this artist is dope, we don't care if he does antics, if he does or promotes these drugs or alcohol or sex or murder or whatever. This person just makes dope music and we love it. Support it, share it, comment, whatever. You dig? Play it. Just play it. I'm here to make music. I don't care about anything else. Just press play and enjoy. So if we give those artists the shine, I swear to you, I don't have money. I am broke, but I will bet you maybe 10 rands. I'll bet you 10 rands that people will stop making that skr himini type shit once people start really supporting it. So, like I said, it's threefold. It's the media. The media can be controlled by us. Then it's the artists themselves. Us as artists. I know Tupac wasn't perfect. I don't know Tupac like that, but I really respect what I've seen from him. His interviews, his music. That's what I know about him. The documentaries. From what I saw, that dude was real. He told us, hold artists responsible for the words that they say on these songs, yo. People too focused on the numbers and hits and and the billboard and this chart and that chart and whatnot. Is the music good? What is the person saying in the music? These things matter. So responsibility goes to the artist. Then we come to the consumer, where the true power lies. A lot of the power is with us as consumers, as the audience, as the people listening to the podcast right now. You are so integral. You are important. You matter. Just because, just nje, just you matter. You feel me? So if you decide that, yo, I'm gonna stop listening, and when I said about there's people who use that flow to say things. So it's not just that. I'm saying the people who are talking about killing one another, abusing and mistreating our women, the people who are promoting drug use to these children on their Instagrams and whatnot, and their YouTubes showing themselves doing certain things, pouring the leans and whatnot. There's no endorsement deals from pharmaceuticals. Pharmacies are a whole different topic within themselves. We'll get there in the next in, in the next few episodes. In the next episode of Dragon Ball Z, Yantol, we're gonna talk about that. But there's no one giving out endorsements. There's no brand deals with pharmaceuticals and alcohol. Okay, alcohol they have, but like that's not real equity. And that's another discussion, equity versus equality. And that's where I'm going to end it off with this music topic, summing up everything else. Equity versus equality. They need to exist together, but one comes before the other. I think equity comes before equality. I like, okay, simple terms. There's a meme that I've seen, and it sums it up very nicely. There's a fence and then people are trying to watch soccer or some sport over the fence. There's one dude, he's tall enough to see over the fence. There's another dude, a kid, a little younger, a little shorter than the first dude, and he can see over the fence if he has something under him, like a crate or something. Then there's a kid, like a child. He can't see unless there's maybe 2 crates under him. Now, equality says everyone gets a crate. Even the person who does not need a crate to see over the fence to watch whatever is over there. Right? Everyone can see except the kid now, because he has 1 crate too, but he's short. Yentol? Now, the kid in the middle has 1 crate. He can see now. He doesn't need nothing more. Now, equity says the dude who can see does not need a crate. The second kid, medium size, he needs 1 crate. The child needs 2 crates because he's shorter. That's equity. Yentol? So that's what we need everywhere. In music, between genders, with this CV-19 situation, race relations, the economy, technology, humanity needs equity. You feel me? I could give a fuck if you are racist towards me. I've experienced racism in Cape Town. And it's funny, I never experienced racism before I came to Cape Town. Only here. So I realized it's not easy to be racist when you have exposure to someone, when you have contact. A lot of these racist people have never really had true relations with people from another race. So they are racist because they never really had contact with the other race. But once they do, they tend to realize that these are human beings like everybody else. That's equity. Economy, we need equity. Yes, people need jobs, but where are these jobs going to come from? Obviously, the government can't give us all the jobs. The corporations can't give us all the jobs. The government and the corporations can't give us all the jobs. So what? Small businesses, entrepreneurship. Let people who are able to create jobs for other people. But you see CV-19 been killing the small businesses. Nah, let them try, let them grow like phoenixes from these ashes. Anyone, if you have an idea that could possibly be great, try it and see what happens. Maybe you could start providing for yourself, your family, and other families. Who knows? You feel me? It's possible. Technology, we need equity there. Fine, it's one YouTube, it's one Twitter, it's one this, it's one that. Okay, but let's not be policed on these platforms. Let us say what we want to say, even if someone else in a certain group will disagree. Stop with this group mentality where it's about the group identity overall. That's dangerous. Stop that. It's toxic. So when it comes down to music, okay, I want to sum it up now. I love music. And I love hip-hop specifically within music. And hip-hop originates in, America. And you have to look at America to see what's happening in SA hip-hop. Because we mimic, we copy a lot of what's happening over there, trend-wise, style-wise. But in essence, they don't have as much culture as we do. They actually come to us, look to us to steal certain things. Look at everything from your Wakandas to the soundtracks and to all of the fashion and the music videos, the performances, the dances that they take from us. They need Africa. It's been like that from the existence of us as a human race. So Africa is very important. So South Africans, dude, listen, I'm talking in this accent now. I might sound, I don't know, American or whatever, like a Model C student. I have never been to a private school to study myself in my life. I've been there to go watch a sports show, to attend some type of whatever, because they'll pick the smartest kids in the school and be like, hey, find a blazer, because I was never one to have a blazer. Find a blazer, we're going to putting you in a taxi and we're sending you to that Model C school. I've experienced that, but I've never gone or studied in a Model C school ever in my life. So how do I have this accent? Television, reading, and my aunt, who used to speak English with me. That's how I have this accent. That's why certain words I struggle to pronounce, because the way I learned was just self-taught. So I understand, man. I don't judge. Make your music however you make it. To me, it's just the content. It's the substance. It's the lyrics. What are you saying? Like, even if you're not saying much, what are you saying, bro? Because if it's negative and you're hating on somebody, fuck you. I'm sorry. But for these kids that I can tell they don't mean bad, this is what they've been exposed to. They grew up listening to the States. They grew up with the internet. That's why my generation is in a middle child type of situation. If you know, J. Cole's track also kind of references that. Because I'm late. I grew up in the late 90s into the early 2000s. So like I said earlier, I saw that transition between the two millenniums, decades. So I can understand how the 2000s view the world, because they grew up with all this shit. We actually were outside. I have scars all over my body because I was out climbing mountains and hills and hunting and playing sports and running and bicycles and all that shit. Yeah, bro. I had a childhood. These kids don't have no real childhood. They have to grow up very fucking fast. And it's going to be escalated even more in the coming years. So I don't want to preach to these kids. But the proof is in the pub. The proof is in the pub. You have to make music and shit that relates to people. Shit that people can gravitate to. Even if it's English. Look at AKA, for example. Dude, at some point was like the only English rapper popping in SA. You had to have a Kwaito sound to you to actually make it in South Africa. He changed that. Tumi and Stogie T is a huge part of that too. Your Zubs, your I think it was Zeus also. Your Proverbs of the world. They were pushing this shit. That's another thing. This is gonna be a long part, but that's another thing. Like, I remember back when Sasingo yo, my man, what's up, my nigga? People would make fun of you for liking hip-hop. Now everybody's into hip-hop. Hip-hop is huge because it's a culture. It's how I walk, talk, dress, act. So we used to be weird liking hip-hop. And now it's like everybody's like, my nigga, this, that. You feel me? So things change. It's not always what you think it is. So you might think you need that American sound to make it, but look at the American reactions. They be like, this dude sounds mad American. Whoa, is this dude from here? Is this? Oh, some people actually want something different. They actually want to relate to where they're from more. That's more culture. English is also a young language. And so that's just what my word to the kids, to this new generation. I like these kids. About Big Hash, you know. I hear about some of these kids. About Big Hash, Luna Florentino, Lucas Raps, Manu Worldstar, Lean Team about Echo, who I know through about Reese and them. Echo, Mellow, Flame is dope. Reese, of course, he's established at this point, yabo. Um, who else? Words, Benny Chill, Willie something. I'm sorry if I forget the name. There's a lot of new cats also coming into the game now, yabo, doing their thing, and I support these kids. More times, more to you, more power, and to you. Keep growing and transcending this game that we love. It's just balance that we need. And we need balance. Bring it back home somehow. There's certain things that only South Africans can relate to. I know you listen to American music and there's certain things you don't know about because they're using certain terms and phrases and referencing things in their history. So bring it back home. That's all I'm saying. You don't have to do vernac or whatever. About J Molly and whoever. You don't have to do that. But bring the sound back home. Chill on the auto-tune a little bit. Just a little. Then, okay, that's the new age, right? And let me not just focus on the dudes. There's a lot of dope females. About Tabi, Indigo Stella, also dope. And I know she's not necessarily hip hop, but she's of the ilk, of the vibes, related. A lot of this new R&B is very hip hop influenced. About Elaine, a dope. Shout out Gigi Lemaine, been dope. Fifi Cooper, excellent. Miss Prue, been doing the thing for the DJ side of it. DJ Cosmo, shout out. There's a lot of females doing their thing, killing it, bro. Apekapa, Yabobo, D Koala, doing the most, shout out. So there's mad talent. And I hear a lot about these people on places like the Popcast. Yeah, bro. Scoop, Speedster, VG, Cosmo, DJ Dimples in the background. We got the Sobering podcast. And we got Mac G with his podcast. And we got these young kids. I'm sorry I forget the names, but they're doing reactions, essay reactions. That's important too. We need to support them too. And because we have all these international people reacting to our music, and I always looked at it and I was like, why are all these American people reacting to South African music outside of the States? Only to realize that one, it's saturated where they are because everybody's reacting to the same thing. Two, it's a bigger market outside. The internet is the world. That's how we need to view it. And these kids are viewing it like that. That's why a lot of them rap in English. I understand. But at the same time, one of the biggest artists in these hip-hop games are artists from the Spanish side of music. And all they rap in is Spanish. Which means people who are Spanish are supporting, but people who aren't too. They just love the vibes. That's why a lot of African music is doing well, that side. That's why you got Don't Rush, Don't Touch, whatever, that challenge. You feel me? So we need to find balance and bring this back home and take it to the world once we've refined it. So to the young kids, keep doing you. To the platforms we have, keep growing. Yeah, bro. And then we have our established cats, your AKAs of the world, your Caspers, Questa, Ricky Rick, Aries, Nasty C, Shane Eagle, who else? Youngster CPT been doing the most. You have a lot of DJs also been. Shout out to the DJs. You know they've been keeping hip hop, SA hip hop alive for years. From Abo Ready D to Abo Dimples, Abo Milkshake to Abo Switch. Damn, there's a lot. There's a lot. Who's I can't forget Capital. Yo, these ninjas been giving us music when rappers were not giving us music that much. Collaborations, we've got a lot of them through DJs. Shout out to groups like Abo, Squatter Camp, Tear Gas, Brov. These groups done the most for SA hip hop and are still going. Abo Slika, KO, Mai, and Tola, they still pushing. Flabo was still pushing, RIP. um, Jabba, R.I.P. Pro, R.I.P. Yabo, Benny, yo, there's so Ben Sharp, damn, bro, there's so many people. Rest in power. And so these people done a lot for our game. Stogie T, respect. Yeah, bro. No one's perfect. But a lot of these people have done great things for SA hip hop, and I respect them, and I want to show love to them, you know, and show support. All I'm saying is how I view the game currently. We're still just a sublet. We're just a sub of the states and tour. And people like, oh, shout out to my favorite artist in SA, Malum Kulkat. Malum Kulkat. Lyrically, I love KO, but Malum Kulkat, when it comes to style and just doing things different, bro. Future mfana. Yeah. Shout out to that cat, bro. Bloomington vibes. That's the ninja. We need to emulate that. Yanton. I remember when Abo Ricky Rick was out with Abo Deleuze. He never rapped in no vernac, but he found himself. He grew. Anati never rapped in vernac. They all sounded American. But look at where they are now. Kamale album yake. Yes. Yantol. Rapping in vernac. These ninjas never used to do that. But they grew. So there's nothing holding you young cats back. No one's going to say you, okay, people are going to say you're pandering or you're switching up to try and whatever. Fuck it. You feel me? Reese. I'm a huge fan of Reese. And so dude has done a lot also in terms of building the internet. He under Ambitious, he was rapping vernac too. And understand, I'm not even the biggest vernac rapper myself. I started off just putting out music in English, because that's just what I was listening to, English music. But then I realized that there's certain things I can't get off in English. English doesn't have certain words, there's certain flows I can't get off in just English. That's why I mix in my phrases here and there. That's all I'm saying. That's vernacular. It's a mix of dialects. So I remember dude when he used to do that. He was dope. It was forced though. So he wasn't being himself, and I get it. I understand. But bro, you can tell that there's something about it that people liked. That's why songs like Abo Zimbali, Mgane Wami, Yabo, all those types of songs with Amanda Black and shit. That's why they perform and they were classics and still are. I heard Nasty's doing something with Zulu. Where I've heard him rap in Zulu, like in certain posts and whatnot. You know, that's dope. That's fucking amazing, and it's something that we need more of. I can't tell people what to do or how to do it. This is just what I think about the hip hop game right now. What I want to bring is balance. Just balance. Like, what are you saying? What are you saying? Listen back to your lyrics and ask yourself, what the fuck am I talking about? Entol, even if you're making a song about nothing, is there certain things that are negative that can be taken from it as negative in terms of youth? Because that's all I really care about. You can listen, I can go back to books from 2010 I had, 2009. I still have some of those books I used to write lyrics in. I never had that type of message that's messed up. And maybe it's because I grew up listening to Kwaito and Abu Biggie and Pac, really Pac a lot. Yeah, bro. Public Enemy. Maybe it's because of that. I don't know. But like, I've never had the need or felt the need to spew bullshit, shit that I'm not even living or doing. Because these ninjas talk about drugs. They talk about murder. They're not even committing these things. They're not even doing these things. But you listen to them, they make you want to do things. I've listened to music and be like, shit, I feel like smoking. Shit, I feel like going out and partying. Mentor, me and my gents have literally been, I remember back in varsity, we've been in one of our rooms and shit, playing music, told ourselves we're going to chill this weekend, we're not doing nothing. Start playing that music, Joe. Next thing we know, we at the barn, we out here, we buying booze and stuff, spending money that we really shouldn't. And it's about budgeting. Can you afford certain things? Yeah, bro. So I realized that music has a lot of power. And hate to be cliche, power is a lot of responsibility. Regardless, once you have that mic, that voice, whether you like it or not, you have a certain power and you speak to people and they listen. So what are you saying? What are you fucking saying? And far beyond that, do you mean it? Anton? So I don't ever wanna, I already look at myself a lot in the mirror and not like what I see. And I'm not even talking about a physical mirror, like what I see inside of me as a human being and how I treat myself, my mom, my family, you know, other people. There's certain things that I don't like about myself, and I want to work on those. I'm working on those, and this is going to be a part of it. Okay, so we almost on 3 hours. Yeah, I think I should sum it up around about now. So we've talked about gender-based violence, we've talked about CV-19, racism, the economy, technology, humanity, and music. I'm going to revisit these topics across the next few podcasts. I'm going to be coming with more research as I go along. I'm going to start, as I'm learning how to edit these videos, I'm going to start popping in, you know, screenshots of certain data and pages, links and all that. Yeah, we're going to be working on that more. Going forward, we're going to speak on spirituality, religion, love, relationships, everything and anything, you know, because that's life, yo. And I need this. This feels good to like let all these thoughts out and vent and really like let it be. It's gonna be weird listening back to my voice when I edit this, but it's fucked up. It's like a voice note, long ass voice note. But yeah, man. If you're listening, thank you for listening, especially until this far. Really appreciate it. Right now I'm calling the podcast To Each Their Own. but it's still kind of slash not so random thoughts, because it's really like thoughts that I have that just pop up in my mind. You see, I have a lot of pages, like tabs open here, that I didn't even go into. We didn't even finish that article we were reading, because it just sparked a stream of consciousness from my mind. So I'm going to continue to do that for the first few, maybe episode 2 and 3, and then by episode 4 we're going to start formalizing it a bit more, bring it down to maybe an hour some couple. I'm going to learn how to break it down, cut it into smaller videos and shit. So I'm gonna put this on SoundCloud. I'm probably gonna make an AudioMack account, put it on my Patreon, YouTube, share it on my Facebook, at uSive, Twitter at uSive_, Instagram at uSive.ka. I'm trying to work on that to have it one thing across platforms, but we're not there yet. And I'm not like, yes, I'm still learning this whole social media thing. I've never been that person. I can forget that I even have a cell phone at times, you know. It's just this Wi-Fi thing. It's got me like, hey, paying for this Wi-Fi every month, so gotta use it. So yeah, man, shit. We've talked about a lot. We'll continue to. You can get this across the platforms I mentioned. Probably gonna explore other platforms like Pandora. I don't know what's popping there. I'll see if I put eventually. I don't know, put it on Spotify or whatever, things like that. But yeah, for now I'm just using my cell phone and headsets to record this. I'm going to try and move to recording on my laptop for better sound quality. Today there was a bit of static and stuff because I'm recording in a car and it's raining outside and shit. But yeah, man, that's the struggle, Once again, I'm just trying to 5 more minutes till we get to 3 hours, might as well, but like, yeah, shit. There's so much more I can dive into. Like, we can go for 5-7 hours on certain topics, but I got other episodes I could do. So for now, I think it's gonna be one pod per week. Long form, like the 1 hour, 2 hour, 3 hour type of setup. Then eventually I'm gonna try and put it on each week, but I'm gonna break it down. I don't know. I'll figure it out. I'm gonna break it down to maybe 10 minutes per video. Oh, that's my laptop about to die. Right on time, but okay. I'm gonna do shorter videos, 11, 12 minutes max. And 11 and 12 are numbers I like. When I check the time, even when I was doing this, I saw 11:11. I always see that time. It's like synchronicity or synchronicity, something like that. I always see either double digits or one digit, but like repeat digits. Like 11:11, that's just one, right? 12:12, 1:2, 1:2. I usually see 4 minutes past 4 or 44 minutes past 4, 5 to 6, like 555. I see numbers like that all the time. 111, and so 303, all that. Yeah, boy. So I'm gonna make shorter videos, 11 minutes, 12 minutes max. I'm gonna make short videos of the longer podcasts to start off, And then I'm gonna start making actual short videos where I just come in and I dive in. For those who are wondering what I look like or whatever, you're gonna have to wait for a while before you see me in video form. You know, we're gonna start audio for now. I'm just gonna put audio with I don't know, a logo, my logo. You know, I also have a company, uSive is the name of my company. Same as my stage name and all that. So I'm gonna put that logo on the video, put it on YouTube, SoundCloud, all these places and stuff. I'm gonna share it to y'all. I hope I hope it's something that helps, man. You know, I hope it does something for you. Even if it doesn't, but you somehow find yourself when you're scrolling in the AMs and you find yourself listening to this, thank you, man, for getting this far. You know, and like I said earlier multiple times, you can subscribe, you can like, you can share, comment, you know, all that nice stuff, or nah, right? It's up to you. You have a choice, right? But I wish only blessings upon you, your life, your family, God's grace, God's speed, love and affection, compassion, you know, kindness. Pay it forward, man. You know, if you've experienced blessings in your life, try and bless others too. And whatever it is, there's a purpose to you being here, to all of us being here, right? And check the time, it's 11:33 p.m. on the 9th of July 2020. And that, ladies and gentlemen, and whatever else you call yourself, is the end of the first podcast, To Each Their Own by uSive. So, have a great life.
Well, John wasn't exactly the boogeyman. He was the one you sent to kill the fuck